Why BNI? Why BNI for business owners?
I'll always explain it to people that doesn't understand the concept. Is you have breakfast in any way, or you have lunch in any way. Why not have it with people that's facing the same challenges, overcome some of those challenges, and can share ideas with you on how to overcome those? It's also extended sales force. You get to talk to people that's not your clients that's complaining in your ears the whole time about things not going right. It's business owners understanding your struggles, understanding the challenges you face, helping you, supporting you, encouraging you to go further, and becoming clients at the same time.
Okay.
Feel the heat. No holding back, no playing it safe. We're taking up space, we're setting the pace. Louder than ever. Here we come. Unfiltered AF.
Joleen Jacobs, the AD for BNI chapters in Ekurhuleni, the Executive Director for BNI Vaal Triangle, and also on the National BNI Training Team. So for those who do not know, BNI Business Network International, we've interviewed a couple of BNI members on the show. We've interviewed Ivan Fulun, who's also an Executive Director of Joburg Central. But today we have Joleen Jacobs, who's also running, and our team at Meta, in collaboration with BNI South Africa, who's also running the BNI South Africa Podcast. Joleen, welcome.
Thanks, Elkan.
We'll put a couple of links into our description of where you can find the BNI Podcast and the value of it. But Joleen, you wear many caps.
Yes, and I must say, it feels weird. Usually I'm the one doing interviews.
Yeah.
And I'm the one answering, so yes, it's quite...
It's payback.
Payback.
It's payback, because we actually recorded a couple of days ago. You interviewed me.
Yes.
For the Joburg Central BNI podcast, whatever you want to call it. So, Joleen, it's like having you here with us today, where we can just have an unfiltered conversation about this journey, your BNI journey, but also in particular, you presenting BNI South Africa's podcast, and the value it's adding to members. We are sitting with 2,800 members in South Africa, and that's a fairly large number of individuals. So, with the podcast, it's difficult to choose members to actually come onto this podcast. But tell me your BNI journey first. Where did this start? Why? And how are you so invested into BNI?
So when it first started, I was actually a substitute for my boss at that time. I was 19 years old, didn't know anything about the business world. My first job, just finished studying. And she told me, well, I can't be there on Wednesdays, so you have to go. No prep, nothing at all. So I went and I thought, oh, we're having breakfast, okay. There was only 9 members at that stage. The chapter was small, so it didn't really run as a normal chapter. And after a couple of months, I became the main member. Met my husband in BNI. He still says that I'm the most expensive referral ever.
Her husband's Gerard Jacobs from JJT Accounting, ne?
Yeah.
We'll put a tagline into their episode. Sorry, Joleen.
And then I started my own business. Tried the corporate world for a little bit, didn't work. And I was in a chapter, which I helped launch. My baby chapter, BNI Tenacity, is still going strong. That will always have a little soft spot in my heart. And 3 months in, I became the secretary-treasurer. And 3 months after that, I became part of the extravaganza team. That's what they called it at that time. It was a big drive for visitors days, like we now know open days or business open days. Yep. That was the extravaganza. And after that, I just never really climbed off the wagon. I just kept going. But I must add, I was one of those wives on a Wednesday morning when my husband got up early to go to BNI. I was like, can't you just skip one day? Just one day. And now when members are skipping meetings, I want to strangle them because they're giving up so much opportunity to market themselves.
The struggle is real, right?
Yes, yes. So yeah, I've been involved in BNI now for 15 years, from a substitute to a member to leadership team to being part of the regional team. I became an AD soon after that, about 5 years into my journey. Bought Vaal Triangle 8 years ago and still going strong. If you told me a year ago I will be hosting all the vidcasts, I would be laughing at you. So yes, it's been quite a journey.
Yeah, so on the vidcast, I I remember Ivan, who is the ED of Joburg Central, he launched a new chapter in Joburg Central, Ikigai, there in the Linksfield region. And Philip attended this launch. And I've never met Philip before, but I know he was on my Facebook. I don't know how that happened. So Philip did his presentation there. I think he did a bit of a congratulations and he did a bit of a keynote. I can't remember exactly the nature of it. And something inside me told me, listen, just go and have a chat to Philip. And I presented the idea to him. Let Meta do a vidcast or podcast for BNI South Africa. I see that there's various other BNIs around the world, around the globe, who actually have their own podcasts, and that sparked the idea. Well, South Africa doesn't have one, so and we met a week later, and he said he's got because I thought Philip would be hosting it, and he said no, I've got someone to host it. Lo and behold, Joleen, and we've known each other now for also 10, 11 years odd because of BNI, and I was like, okay, cool, this is going to be lekker. So, and Joleen, you're really doing an amazing job with it. From where we started, I remember we recorded all the EDs at your ED. It was a seminar you guys had, and we started with the first recordings there. From there to where we are now today, it's almost a year later. The growth in you, the growth in the BNI podcast series. So, how's the journey been for you so far?
It's been interesting. I must say, when we interviewed the EDs, there were a few that I was nervous about, because I see them as my mentors, and I see them as more accomplished than what I am. So talking to them was difficult. I didn't want to make them sound less valuable, but I knew there were vulnerable questions we needed to ask. And when we started with the members' journeys, it changed the whole perspective. What we thought would be constant topics in conversations or constant answers was actually not. I don't think we had one repeat of a conversation that we have in recordings. And it's all to do with what the members experience through one-to-ones, through meeting people in BNI, through their experience as a first-time visitor. It all differs, and I think that is the impact that is needed, because when we are on the level where we are as EDs, we're not always on the ground seeing what members are feeling, what they go through. So these podcasts has really opened our eyes to where we need to support more, where we need to help more, what is working, and what we can still bring in that's going to kind of not highlight what they've already been telling us, but complement not just their journey, but the visitor's journey as well.
Exactly. So, and also in doing that, it is a platform for members to elevate themselves even further, because at the end of the day, yes, you should be conducting your meetings, doing your one-to-ones, doing your chapter visits, but still your scope is within a region, within how many one-to-ones you can fit in, still running your business and so forth. I know that's a fairly usual pain point, if I can put it this way. I've done as many one-to-ones as I can. I still need to focus on my business, but the podcast series has elevated them to reach thousands of people. And the potential of 2,000 or 3,000 members across South Africa and thousands across the globe, millions across the globe. So from member feedback, what have you received to date? What has this helped? How has this BNI podcast helped them?
We did a podcast with one of the first podcasts that we did with a member. Wasn't a member for long. We did the vidcast with her. It went live. And I had long-standing members WhatsApp me saying, thank you so much. This has reminded me why I joined BNI in the first place. This reminded me of what I should be doing as a member, because I forgot all of these things. So it's definitely been something that members get information from, regain why they joined BNI in the first place, but also educating those members that's not sure if they're doing BNI correctly. So this has really been a journey of self-development, self-educating, and giving members the opportunity to listen to it at their own time, at their own pace, pausing, going back, making notes. So it's been something that we didn't think about in the past. We have the Power of One podcast that Jeremy and those guys run. But having raw members speak about their journey has a bigger impact than any training we can ever give.
I think it makes it real. Because training is polished, it is curated, it it's rules basically. At the end of the day, you need to do this, you need to do that. It's an instruction. But hearing these members sharing their journey is like, oh wow, okay. Like you rightly said, I forgot about that. I know with conference, one member actually that was also in the East Rand region, Ekurhuleni region, approached me and said, because of the podcast, there's been so many new inquiries to them as well. So there is a form of exposure to this as well. Now, do you think, and obviously I'm biased, so I can't answer this question, do you think that this platform, a podcast platform, is the way of the future?
There's a lot of things that we cannot accomplish through conversations. There's a lot of things we can't accomplish through training. Having a conversation, asking questions, triggers certain things, and then the conversation starts. So having a platform where it's recorded, where members can actually go back to, is definitely the way that we should be treating all aspects of BNI, and not just the recipe that works or your experience, but what you've done that is increasing your business. And that is something that we can always go back to and refer back to, not just in our members, but also in maybe trying to convert visitors to members, because it's real experiences. It's not scripted. It's not what, the BNI director said so. It's true members sharing experience.
So how do you choose the members that come into the podcast?
I knew you were going to ask that. No, it's not the green members. It's members that has a positive outlook.
But that's a core
experience.
value, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So,
and we also look at members that has grown. We were interviewing a member that couldn't even speak in front of 2 people, doing a vidcast, and still replying to you late that night saying thank you so much for trusting him in doing something like this.
yes, exactly. One of the members in our region.
Yes.
Yes.
So I don't look at stats at all when I start interviewing for the podcasts. I really go look at those members that had experience, that has a story to share. And sometimes the stories aren't going to be positive. Sometimes it isn't going to be what we think, the star shining and roses.
Manscan en rosa.
Does say. It's not going to be that. We do have stories where members felt, I need to leave BNI because I can't do this anymore. And those are also stories that we need to hear. Even if they don't come back to BNI, we need to hear those stories so that everybody's aware, yes, you're a business owner. BNI is not the perfect tool to help you out of whatever mess you are in. It's just another avenue of marketing.
Well, it's a very important supportive tool. As I'm speaking out of personal experience of going to my chapter on a weekly basis, you might feel like the morning, it's like, well, I don't have the energy today, but you get there, you chat with your members, fellow members, and you feel a bit more inspired because of that. Yes. Because of the accountability, because of the energy, because of the positivity at the end of the day. Isn't it true?
Yes, and also what I've seen in the development of members, it's also not just a rigid thing. We are used to having majority of the chapters on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That is majority of the chapters. So 2 years ago, I decided, why not a Monday? Everybody thought, Monday chapter, that's not going to work because it's office meetings, you're sorting out things from the weekend, all those things. So I took it a step further and said, okay, it's going to be a lunchtime Monday chapter, which is suicide. And after a year, we did a little exercise with this chapter and we said, please write on a piece of paper what your goal is for the next year and what made you renew on the first birthday of this chapter. And I've got it in a little box. Obviously, I read it. Didn't share it with the chapter yet because it will only be shared once they turn 2 years old. And there were 7 members that commented, that wrote on the piece of paper that their Monday motivation slot was lunchtime on a Monday at the BNI meeting. Because the morning they were putting out fires, it was a blue Monday, they didn't know what to do. They got that energy from their chapter, had lunch, had discussions with people to try and sort this out, got back to the office and they could think clearly about the challenges they were facing. So it's definitely different things attracting different people. Nobody thought the Monday chapter would work. it is working for that bunch of people, for those industries that's in that chapter, because of trying to solve everything on their own. And majority of those businesses, which is strange, is you've got the manager or the owner of the business with teams on the road. Not necessarily just in your trades, in different aspects, in marketing, in estate agents, all those, they have teams in the field. And usually on a Monday, that is where everything comes running down on you, and you have to try and sort it out. And that's what keeps them going. Some of them are already looking at, if we have a different chapter on an odd time as well, different time that's not the norm, to see if it has the same effect on the employees going forward.
Okay, awesome. So that's encouraging. So Joleen, just to pivot a little bit, I'm sure there's a whole bunch of our viewers who say, BNI, really? What? It sounds like I need to commit to something. It's time away from the office, or I need to go for lunch and talk about what? Why BNI? Why BNI for business owners?
I'll always explain it to people that doesn't understand the concept, is you have breakfast in any way, or you have lunch in any way. Why not have it with people that's facing the same challenges, overcome some of those challenges, and can share ideas with you on how to overcome those? It's also extended sales force. You get to talk to people that's not your clients that's complaining in your ears the whole time about things not going right. It's business owners understanding your struggles, understanding the challenges you face, helping you, supporting you, encouraging you to go further, and becoming clients at the same time.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Was that about 60 seconds?
I don't know, probably.
It felt like 60 seconds on the dot, so you can see BNI's in your blood. So Joleen, what is next? What is next for, number one, the podcast, and number two, for BNI South Africa?
For the podcast, my vision is always to have the raw stories. Much like Unfiltered, just in the BNI setting, where members really get to share the truth and the honest opinion they have about things that happened, education that they've received, the meetings and things like that. Obviously, traveling the country to get to the podcasts with the Meet Our Team, I think that will be very awesome, and having a bit of wine in the wine route with the team and things like that, I think would be really cool at building the bonds and things like that. For BNI South Africa, I know Philip has a huge goal of 10,000 members by 2030. So there's a lot of work and prep and things going into that. I just sighed
there for a second.
Well, we had a meeting yesterday, and we are running a special campaign which we didn't think would be so easy. If each chapter grows with 3 members by the end of the year, we are adding almost 400 members. So if we can continue doing that each month, because obviously you want your chapter to grow by 1 member per month.
Yeah.
We want to. It's not always possible, but then you get it at the influx of 7 members joining in 1 month. So if we work on the 10 plus 10 per year, we can achieve that. And it's actually so easy, but just listening to our members and following through on what they say. Some of the other things is developing the training team so that our members get more, so that we can actually answer the questions that they've been asking. We want to develop the regions where there's no BNI, Northern Cape, for instance, where Tamsin just took over, where we don't have BNI except for Kimberley. We don't have Kathu, we don't have Uppington, we don't have those kind of places. So those are untapped markets. Even the Western Cape, that's so well developed in BNI, has Hermanus that doesn't have a chapter yet. So they're busy with one, it hasn't launched yet, but those are things that we thought would have a chapter by now. Potch, Klerksdorp, Rustenburg, all these economy-driven platforms, communities that we don't have BNI, which is a great grow for all of us to actually achieve that. And I know when we had our first ED meeting, when we did the first vidcasts, Philip's dream was to add another 14 EDs to the team, which will make us a team of 30.
Sure, okay.
So having 30 leaders all developing the members and the regions, we can get to our 10,000 in 2030.
Okay. All right, so there you have it. If you're keen on getting a region, but how does it work, Joleen? Is usually within the ranks or not?
Yes, it is definitely. The option goes to the ADs first, then the support members.